Hello everybody, it is time for the third and final part of the March 2019 collection update video series. This is video games. Crystal's back.
Yeah.
We have quite a bit here to go through. We have a little bit of accessories and some special stuff, a bunch of games, but we'll go ahead and start off with the one accessory I got. It's actually a new PS4 controller. I got this really cool like bronze orange looking one. I was gonna go get a gold one, but I saw this and I'm like, okay, that's actually really cool. So I picked this one up. Not cheap, but still really cool to have because of how colorful it is. Our other special thing, or our other extra thing, is actually this book that I actually originally asked for this for Christmas, but I didn't end up getting it. It's kind of an extra add-on thing to the 3 Zelda book things that I have from Dark Horse. It's actually, oh god, it's Zelda Breath of the Wild Creating a Champion, but it's basically a lot of
Oh, that's a nice.
yeah, it's a lot of concept art from Breath of the Wild.
It's basically an art book.
Yeah, there's a lot of art book, but there's a lot of other text. There's like developers' notes.
That's basically what art books do. They just tell you like
it separates by all the different races and stuff. And there's like comments on all the people and enemies, all the DLC packs stuff. It has everything, all the DLC stuff, artwork for all the areas, all the different, you know.
Yeah, this is mostly background.
All the different locations.
I'm just quickly going through it, but
like provinces. That's the word I'm looking for. It has Hebra.
There it is, the Rito.
Yeah. But yeah.
I'm trying to see if I can find Bird Dad.
Bird Dad. Yeah, we call him Bird Dad. I feel like we've mentioned
Everybody
this before.
calls him Bird Dad because he's literally a bird dad.
But yeah, he is a bird dad. But there's a lot of different information in here. Like there's actually a lot of stuff to read, but there's a lot of, and then it even goes into the Champions Ballad and stuff. And look at all this different, like all this text that you got to read. So it kind of has like an explanation. It doesn't really have its place in the timeline or anything. Yeah. Oh, that's cool. And then there's an interview with the director right there.
Director, and then the art director.
The art director and the illustrator. Apparently. But really cool. It's a really thick... and Eiji Onuma. Alright. But it's a really thick book, definitely. There's a lot in it. But that's really cool to have. I wanted to grab that from the get-go.
It's a really thick book,
that was one of the first things I got.
Oh, those thick ones.
That was one of the first things I got this month, because I was like, well, I have the money. We'll go ahead and grab that. But really cool to have that, because that's all the Zelda stuff. There's only a handful of other like books like that I'll have to get for like other game series and stuff. But that's it for all the extra stuff. We'll actually go on to the games now, and there's a lot of them. So we'll start with a couple of 3DS games. We have 3 of these. Crystal bought all of these on clearance at our local retro game store. The first one here we have is Codename Steam.
I played a demo of this game and it's okay. It's just one of those like basically aliens are attacking and like I think Abe Lincoln asks you to defend either the country or the world from these aliens. At least the demo, when I played it, it felt like just a standard game, but a lot of people really like this game for some reason, so I was just like, oh, let me just buy the whole game and see how it is.
I've heard it's pretty good.
I haven't heard anything really bad.
Really cool. Really nice to have another 3DS game, because that increases that collection up. But we got 2 more here. The next game we have is Final Fantasy Explorers. I don't know a lot about this one, actually.
I actually don't know a lot about it either, and I'm like a huge Final Fantasy fan, so I don't really know a lot about this. What I'm just going from not playing it ever or looking up any information, it just seems like your standard Final Fantasy game. And you can play as like Final Fantasy characters from different games. Like the popular characters from different games and stuff, but that's what it looks like to me.
Really cool to have another Final Fantasy game, though. I mean, either way, still really cool, even though we don't really know much about it. And then our last 3DS game here is actually kind of an interesting one.
I've actually wanted to play it for a while. It's
same at the same time.
I just have a huge backlog of games I'm playing right now.
I agree, but at the same time, it's like, do I really want to play a complete rip-off of Pokemon? But
it's not really a rip-off.
It is, but it isn't. But it's the original Yokai Watch game. Like I said, it's a Pokemon clone, definitely.
Well, I mean, I guess kind of. It's similar. Yeah.
It got really, really
But,
super popular in Japan, and even here it actually got pretty popular.
Because, like, yokai is part of their culture.
Yeah, no, it explains why it got
So-
as popular as it did over there, but over here it got more popular than I expected.
Yeah.
But they made the anime, so that's not that surprising. But still, really cool game. I don't know a lot about it other than it's collecting, ghosts, basically. Or spirits.
Basically.
Isn't that what
Essentially,
yokai
it's
means in
similar.
Japanese? Is spirit or something like that?
They're basically like little spirit things. And different ones represent different things. I don't know how to explain it.
But yeah, really, really cool to have this. It's an interesting game. We have another handheld game coming later, but that's a part of a special thing here later. But we'll go ahead and start with the actual console games. We start off here with a Xbox 360 game we got on clearance that Crystal really wanted. I bought it for her, even though I had no desire to own the game. But it's actually Ratatouille, another licensed game for Disney licensed game for 360. Oh, made by THQ. Okay. But Crystal apparently played this game a bunch, so...
I played it with my nephew when it came out. And you know how you always have that one random game? Usually a movie or show license game that you just... Even if it's bad... And this is just a pretty okay game. It's not really terrible or anything. It's just an okay game for kids to play. But... You always have... Everybody has that one game... movie licensed or TV show licensed or something that they play. They refuse
that they
to,
like a lot.
Yeah, I guess.
Hey, you have a couple. You have this and Bolt.
That, Bolt, and 102 Dalmatians, Puppies to the Rescue for PS1.
But maybe we'll get that eventually. But yeah, it's an Xbox 360 game. But anyway, really cool to have, I guess. I don't know. I don't know if I'll ever play this, but still, she wanted it, and it was cheap.
Well,
Clearance, so really cool. Then we go on to a Wii game, actually. It's actually a sequel to a game on here that I already have. It's actually Epic Mickey 2, The Power of Two. I have the first one on Wii.
And I have the 3DS one. I played the first one when I first moved here, and I'm still, I stopped playing it for a year for some reason, so I'm almost done with the first game. And then I saw this at GameStop, no, it was...
Yeah, it was GameStop.
Okay, yeah, it was GameStop.
Because there's quite a few PS3 and PS4 games coming here soon that we got all on clearance at GameStop. It was like 4 for $10 or something like that.
Something like that,
Yeah. So it was four of any game under $8 for $10.
Yeah.
So this was one of them. I know this game was not considered that great compared to the first one. A lot of people really liked that first one, and this one was, I wouldn't say poorly received, but not as well liked. Also, I know the Wii U version is the best reviewed one, but it wasn't available, and they had this, and I'm like, why not just keep it kind of uniform? I don't think I realized that they ever released it on Wii until just recently. Yeah, it's still really, really cool to have. It's just nice to have this. It was super cheap anyway, so really cool though. Then we go on to a couple PS3 games. One of these we got in the bundle from GameStop, and the other one was on clearance at the Retro Game Store. The first one here we have is actually Gran Turismo 5. This is the XL edition. I actually grew up playing the first two a little bit, and then I have the third one on PS2 that I played quite a bit. Again, it was cheap. I don't know exactly what the XL edition means other than it includes over $20 of bonus cars, tracks, and more. Which apparently doesn't even matter because I'm pretty sure it's a code. And if it's a used game, the code's probably no good anyway, unless it's actually on the disc, which is pretty cool if it is. It does look like it is on the disc. Oh, apparently you can get NASCAR cars. Dude, I can drive as Jeff Gordon in a Gran Turismo game. Let's go, man. No, we picked it up because it was cheap. I wouldn't say I would have bought this normally, but I do want to get the original two Gran Turismos at some point, for sure, though. Really cool, though, actually. Really neat. I don't think you've never played a Gran Turismo game, have you?
Yeah.
Oh,
I used to play racing games a lot.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, this ought to be cool. I think this is the most recent... No, there's that Gran Turismo Sport, but this is the most, recent numbered Gran Turismo, as far as I know. Really cool, though. Pretty cool. And then the other PS3 game is actually a sequel to a game I bought a while back, and I think I actually I played this game, and this is what made me buy the first one. It's actually Army of Two: The 40th Day. I remember playing this years ago with a friend, and I enjoyed it, and I wanted to buy them. So I bought the first game years ago, and this one was finally on clearance somewhere, so I picked it up. I don't intend to ever buy the last one, Devil's Cartel. That one was really poorly received. I guess it kind of killed the franchise. But this one ought to be fun. It's a 2-player, third-person shooter. Maybe Crystal and I can play it at some point. I don't know. But still really cool to have. I don't have a lot to say because I haven't played it that much, but it's just another third-person shooter kind of thing. It was decently fun when I played it. There are a couple more PS3 games coming, but they're all... it's all special series-based stuff that I wanted to separate from everything, so you'll see that in a little bit. Next up, we have a couple of PS4 games. 4 PS4 games, excuse me. 2 of these were on clearance at GameStop. One of them I bought for full price at a retro game store, and I think this one here, this first one, Crystal bought for full price at GameStop when she bought the clearance stuff. Our first game here is Dragon Quest Heroes: The World's Tree and the World Tree's Woe and the Blight Below. The Day 1 edition, which just comes with some bonus content. I haven't played a lot of Dragon Quest.
I've played a couple. It's
I know the character design is based on Akira Toriyama, who did Dragon Ball and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's also Square Enix. I've wanted to play them. Like, I want to play their older stuff.
I want to play most of them. Yeah. I played a lot of Final Fantasy games, but not really a lot of Dragon Quest.
There are a lot of Dragon Quest games, though. There are a lot of Dragon Quest games. I don't know a lot about it. Like I said, there's other in this series. I know there's like Dragon Quest 1 through 12 now or something, and then there's this Heroes, and I think there's another game in the Heroes franchise, but still really cool to have a Dragon Quest game finally, I guess. Pretty cool. And then 2 of the games we got here in the bundle. This first one here is completely useless, and I don't know if we'll ever play, but we basically couldn't find another game for the bundle, so we just grabbed this just because Crystal couldn't find anything. I'm like, hey, we could always get Star Wars Battlefront. Yeah. I don't have much to say about this. It's an embarrassment, including the second one.
It's interesting.
The game look nice. They're just a joke.
I don't know the state of the game now. Apparently people were like, "Oh, it's not terrible like it was when it came out."
Well, that's the second game.
The second game, yeah. The first game, no.
But we may play this, maybe, but it's not. I don't care. It was just kind of to make it so we could get the bundle is really why I grabbed this. But still, it's interesting. And then the next one was also in the bundle, and this is one I actually wanted because I've been wanting to play it since it came out. I've seen a little bit of it. It looks pretty cool. It was a disappointment to most people, but I still really want to play it. So it's the original Watch Dogs. Again, a lot of people were disappointed by this game. Number one, because it didn't look like it looked like when they announced it and all that stuff. And I'm like, whatever.
Oh, that whole thing with the they lowered the quality for consoles, and then this whole thing.
Like, the game looked completely different though. But no, I still really want to play this, and I know there's the second one, which I guess is actually a little bit better than this one.
I actually really like the concept of this game.
Yeah, no, the concept is awesome. That was part of the reason why I wanted to play it. So I'll definitely be playing this at some point. Really cool though. Like, this was a game that I was pretty hyped for when they announced it.
I remember seeing it on EA or E3.
Really cool to have this one. Plus, it was super cheap. And then, not our last PS4 game, but our last PS4 game for now. This one I bought at our retro game store because I saw part of it on clearance, and then the other half wasn't there. So I went to look, and it would still be cheaper to just buy this version. This is Metal Gear Solid 5: The Definitive Experience, which has Ground Zeroes and Phantom Pain, plus Metal Gear Online, and all the DLC for all of them. I'm hoping it's on disc. This was the only Metal Gear Solid game I was missing. I have 1, 2, 3, and 4. I don't have every Metal Gear game, because apparently those are also part of the series, so I need to get Metal Gear and all that other stuff, all the older stuff. So, like, the NES games. I want to get the GameCube one, Peace Walker and all that. Or Peace Walker's PSP. I don't remember. But yeah, I just felt like getting this. This one I paid a little bit for. It was a little over $20 for both of them used. But I'd say it's worth it because it's apparently this game is really, 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 really good. So I don't know. But Crystal's the only one who's really played a Metal Gear Solid game, right? I don't think I've ever actually played
Yeah,
any
I
of
played
them.
like the first 3, but I didn't beat them, but I played them. I got pretty far into them.
Yeah, I never actually played any of them. I need to do that at some point. That's on my list. Really cool to have that.
I remember playing it on PS1, but...
And to have the Metal Gear Solid games, all of them again, I guess. But we'll move on actually to a couple of Switch games here. This first one, Crystal bought at GameStop. We actually originally went into that GameStop because she wanted Mega Man 11. And we ended up walking out with this because of the version of it she got. I've never even heard of this game.
Apparently...
It's called Toki.
Apparently it was an arcade game, and then I looked it up more, and it was on, NES and other consoles and stuff.
Yeah, so it's just an arcade.
A lot of people, like, it's one of those games that a lot of people, what's it called? It has, like, a
cult following?
Yeah.
Okay.
A small community of people are like, yeah!
The original or this one?
The original.
Okay, yeah, this is a remake. It's kind of the classic arcade style, like if you die, you start at the beginning of the level. If you die, lose all your lives, you start from the beginning of the game. So you basically have to beat the game in one go. You can't save.
You have 9 continues, which is, when all your lives run out, then you use a continue. And when you use all those continues, you have to start the whole game over.
But yeah, it's definitely different. Not quite my type of game. I was watching her play it. It looks pretty kooky, though. Pretty unique, actually.
Kooky?
Yeah. But the version she actually bought, it actually came... It's basically a collector's edition that came in this big box called the Retro Collector Edition. She got it still sealed. Retrolector, excuse me. With the slipcase, and then it's a box that comes with a nice little
comic book telling like how, like, the story. Basically, to sum up the story is this guy is a prince, and this guy's a prince, and this sorcerer turns him into this monkey because the prince really likes his niece, but he like kidnaps his niece because he's like some evil guy trying to take over the kingdom and stuff. And then somehow he gets like these powers to like breathe fire. That's basically the story of the game. Not really that much of a story, but you don't really need story for a game like this.
It also came with some pretty cool concept art, just a couple pictures of the main character and the girl, and then this one boss fight I remember her doing.
Oh yeah.
And then it comes with the best thing ever, stickers. Yes. And then probably both of our favorite parts of this is it actually came with these wood kind of cutout stuff that you have to put together that form into a mini arcade cabinet that you slide the Switch into, the tablet into, and it looks like a little mini arcade cabinet while you're playing.
Yeah, that was really interesting. I like the art.
It's actually really cool. She put that together.
Side, which is really nice. And the back, the only thing about this is I wish the back had like a something to it, because it's just kind of open. But
yeah, that's pretty unique. I like how they call it the Retrolector, and it comes with basically an arcade cabinet, basically. But that's really, really cool. I think that's the best part of the whole thing. It's not quite my game kind of thing. She enjoys it a lot, though.
Yeah,
so.
I like old school arcade kind of games.
Yeah, so she ended up grabbing that instead of Mega Man. And then our other Switch game was one I deliberately went out and got. And I got this one because Crystal wanted this one more. I kind of wanted it just because it's not... whatever. But it's Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu on Switch as well. We're actually in the middle of this game right now. We kind of put Kingdom Hearts 3 on hold because we were tired. We got stuck and got kind of tired of it for a second. So we're in the middle of this. You can cruise right through this game. It's super easy. The catching mechanics are, if you know anything about the game, the catching mechanics are Pokemon Go. It's not random encounters in the grass. You see them pop up and you run towards them and then you catch them. You still have battles and stuff. Like it's
you
Pokemon,
still battle the trainers.
It's Pokemon Yellow, but with Pokemon Go mechanics, basically.
Yeah. Super
easy. There's a way to play kind of like pseudo 2 players.
Yeah.
That kind of works. That's what we're doing right now. Right now we just
got the 4th badge?
Celadon City, like we did the Game Corner. So we're basically Oh no, we did the Pokemon Tower as well. We went back to Lavender Town.
Town.
So we're going to Fuchsia City right now to do that. Is what it is.
Yeah, it's this is more of a game for like somebody
Casual players.
Somebody who's never played Pokemon and wants to get into it, but they don't understand a lot of like the type advantages and disadvantages, and they don't know this and that, and you know, like, I mean, I've been playing since like Emerald, but even I haven't played a lot of Pokemon, and like the older games can sometimes be really difficult, and the newer games can sometimes like explain a lot of stuff in your face if you've never played the games before. So if you know people that just want like something easy and relaxing to get through, it's basically a game like that.
Okay. Yeah. No. This game, I'm having fun in a sense with this game, but it doesn't have the same flair as regular Pokemon.
I mean, it's not supposed to. It's for,
I know.
Yeah, basically beginners. Pokemon 101.
Yeah, it's still pretty cool. I don't know if I'm gonna get Let's Go Eevee. I might. I mean, I do like getting all of the Pokemon games, but like this is different. This is kind of a special circumstance, so I don't know if I'll get Eevee. Maybe at some point, if the prices ever drop, I might. But still pretty cool to have this game. I mean, it's a little piece of interesting, gaming. So pretty cool. We do have one more game that I'm saving for the end of this video. One more just by itself game that I'm saving because of what it is. But we'll go on to a couple of, like I said, this was a big month for collecting video games as well. But I collected a lot of games for different series. I got multiple games for multiple different series here. So we got a mix of PlayStation, mostly consoles here. But we'll start off here. I got both of these games on clearance at our local retro game store for like a couple dollars. So it was pretty cool to get these. I actually got Infamous 2 on PS3 and Infamous Second Son on PS4. I already had Infamous 1. So it was pretty cool to have get these. I haven't played any of the Infamous games, so I don't know a lot about them, but and I've heard Infamous 2 is really, really good. I've heard Second Son's a little disappointing, but you run around in Seattle, so I kind of want to just do that to see how recognizable I can, like, see if I can find any places I know, because I've been there so many times. But really, really cool to have these, because Infamous, at least the first two, were really big deals on PS3. They were, like, definitely one of the big licensed games on the PS3. I'm really surprised they haven't made another one after Second Son, but still, I don't know. Really cool to have both of these. Definitely.
I've never played the game, so...
Neither have I.
I've seen a lot of people play it.
Then we, another game here I got on clearance. It's actually Assassin's Creed Rogue. This is the limited edition. I don't know what that means because it doesn't really say anything on here. But I grabbed this on clearance because a lot of people actually said this game was pretty good. It was like a previous generation game released when Unity was released, which was an embarrassment. And I've heard good things about this. Yes, I know they just remastered it, or they're about to release the remaster of it, but I'd rather just have the original one. And I actually went and bought, later, I went and bought Black Flag, Assassin's Creed 4 for PS4, because it's the most, like, it was like, I think this was the first Assassin's Creed released for a new-gen console. I just grabbed this because I didn't intend to ever get it for the longest time, but then people were like, it's probably the best one in the entire series. So I'm like, okay. So now I have basically everything up to this and then Rogue. And then the only other Assassin's Creeds I might get are Origins, which I heard took a little while to get good, and then Odyssey. Our neighbor is actually playing a bunch of that game, and it looks really nice, so I might get that. But I wanted to stick with PlayStation for Assassin's Creed, because I feel like this is one of those games that I just would rather play on a console. But pretty cool to have both the Assassin's Creed. Again, I played the very first one for a few hours, or quite a few hours. I don't remember exactly how long I played it for. But
I beat the first one.
I thought it was okay, but
the first one just feels like a prototype because it's the first one, and they're trying to figure out what's good and what's not. And then it just feels like a really, like, if you go back to it after playing these other games, it just feels really.
Well, I'll play through all of them at some
outdated.
point. I've heard that the second game is probably the best one. That, 3, and Black Flag, a lot of people say are the best ones, but still really cool to have some Assassin's Creed games, I guess. Then we go on to a series that I I basically wanted to collect, ever since the new game came out, I went, well, it's actually doable to collect all of these games, because I already have almost half the games already. It's actually Soul Calibur. I already have every version of 2, 3, and 5. I also have the original Soul Calibur on Dreamcast, and Soul Blade on PS1, which is a port of the original Soul Edge arcade game, which was basically the first Soul Calibur. So I found Legends on the Wii on clearance. I know this game isn't considered all that great. It's basically like an action-adventure game in a fighting series. A lot of people didn't like this, but it was on clearance, so I went, you know what, I want every Soul Calibur, so I'm going to pick it up. And then I actually went and paid full price, not really full price for Soul Calibur 4, but it wasn't on clearance, so I paid a little bit for it. But it's Soul Calibur 4, and I went, well, now I'm only missing 2 of the games, so just recently I went and bought the PSP one, Broken Destiny, which has Kratos from God of War. So now I am literally only missing Soul Calibur 6, and I have every Soul Calibur game. I actually really like Soul Calibur. It's one of my favorite fighting games next to Smash. It's probably Smash, Dragon Ball Z, this, and Marvel vs. Capcom for fighting games. I don't know in what order, but really, really cool. I'm happy to have a bunch of Soul Calibur. It's actually really cool. Plus, you know, new PSP game, which you don't see too often, even though we're randomly... That's right, last video I got, like, Dissidia. I got another fighting game, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, that's it for all the series. We close out with a very, very, very special game to me. And actually, apparently to Crystal, too. I have been, basically for the last year or so, I've been progressively selling stuff to my retro game store, like extra stuff I have, stuff I found for cheap at like Goodwill and stuff, and extra stuff I didn't need basically. And I finally built up enough in-store credit to not have to pay a lot for this game. And it's really cool. They didn't have it for all over a month. They didn't have a copy of it, but they finally went and got one for me from the owner's house, I guess. We go there all the time, so we know everybody pretty well. But it's actually a very special Super Nintendo game. It's Earthbound. Pretty critically acclaimed game. I've never actually played it. Crystal has. She loves it.
It's great.
This game was not cheap. In total.
I
only paid $30 for it.
I don't even know if there's like a digital release of this game.
No, I'm sure you can get it on like
on
the
Switch?
Wii. On the Wii Shop channel you could. I'm pretty sure I might have. I don't know.
I know like Switch only has NES games right now, but
yeah. No, this game to be honest with you, at the store this was like $240. I only paid $30. I saved up that much money. But
it's 200 what? 30 what?
240 I think for this copy
with just the cart in the box.
It was like 600 at the store.
700 something.
Yeah, at the store. You have to get lucky to find it for cheaper anywhere else. I'm not going to risk buying cartridge-based games on eBay or anything anymore because apparently they have a big fake problem. Like this game's so pricey. I asked them to put one of these plastic protector things on it. Yeah, this was it's kind of a big deal. It's probably easily the most expensive game I own now, actually. Yeah, above anything else. But really happy to have this because I can actually play it. I mean, I could have played it anyway, but I can actually play it and say hi to the cat.
Again.
But anyway, I'm really happy to have this. This was kind of an essential Super Nintendo game. And it might... looking at like my list of games I wanted to get for every console, I don't know if there's any games that come even within $100 of this game. There's a couple games I want that are about $100, like Chrono Trigger and Xenosaga 3 and like some of the N64 games I want. But no, this is kind of a big deal. Like I thought Animal Crossing last month was our last video was a big deal. This one is even bigger because it was $200. And the label isn't in the best shape, but it's in good enough shape that I'm okay with it. They had a couple pristine ones that were like $20 more at one point, but I can deal with this one because it still looks really good. So, and do you have anything to say about it, Crystal? Because you played the game.
Yeah, it's I was a dumb, and I went into this game thinking it's gonna be all nice and happy and cartoony and stuff, and it's not. Like, it looks like a really happy, cheerful game and stuff, but that's like surface level stuff. When you actually play the game, you go through this emotional heartbreak and like train wreck, and you don't come out the same person after you play this game.
Oh dear. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna put this at the top of my list to play. We just got a lot of stuff we need to get through, like Kingdom Hearts, and then this Pokemon game, and then back to Zelda, and then we'll probably go on from there. I don't know. This is probably top 10 games that I own now, like, just of mine, just personally, because just price alone puts it up there. But, and this is the only way I could think of to end this video, even though it's just this one standalone game after all those series-based games. I had to end it with Earthbound. But that's everything. I'm just going to leave this on camera. We're going to leave a game on camera for once. It's kind of a big deal. That's it for the March 2019 collection video. I do not think I will have a video for April. It'll probably be April and May, to be honest, because I don't expect to buy much in April. But I hope you guys enjoyed all of these. Earthbound, yay. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.